When people hear the word autism, they often think of the success stories that they see on YouTube, Facebook, or the news, like the high school kid who made the winning shot in a basketball game, or the 6-year-old who can play Mozart flawlessly on the piano by heart. Even the story about the girl who invited the kid with autism in her class to prom. All of these stories are amazing, and I love watching them. They're breaking the barriers that society has put up for them because of a diagnosis. However, what a lot of people don't realize is that life with autism isn't always that glamorous. It's a spectrum disorder, which means that the individual's capabilities can range from high to low functioning autism. People with high functioning autism have some struggles with different aspects of life, but with hard work and a tight support system, they can still find their place in society and often find success in their lives. For individuals with low functioning autism, sometimes success is measured on a much smaller scale, like going to the bathroom on the toilet or only having one major freakout during the day as opposed to 6. My brother Daniel is an example of someone with very low functioning autism. Daniel can't talk, he can't shower himself or use the bathroom by himself, he can't make himself food when he's hungry, he can't write even his name, he can't play sports, he can't add 1 plus 1. Daniel is turning 19 years old. There's a lot of things that Daniel can't and will probably not ever be able to do. When my parents first heard the word autism from doctors about 17 years ago, there wasn't a lot of information available about it. As a family of 5 at the time, we had no idea what to expect, but as time passed and our family grew, we learned to adjust. My sister, my brothers, and I grew up very quickly. We understood at a young age that we had a role to play in terms of the responsibility in our home. We learned that it is more worthwhile to help out around the house than to cause even more stress. It takes a lot of sacrifice when someone in your family has autism. It takes a toll on you emotionally. Watching someone with autism grow up can be heartbreaking, especially when he can't speak. So when he's in pain or he's trying to communicate something with us, but he can't because there's no way of doing so, it often resorts to physical violence. He doesn't mean to hurt anyone. We would have to hold him down until he was calm so that he wouldn't hurt himself or anyone else. And when it was all over, he would just look at you, with tears running down his face. And I knew he was sorry. And I was sorry too, because I couldn't figure out what he needed. All I wanted to do was help him, and I couldn't. That rips your heart to shreds. Living with someone with autism takes a toll on you physically. Sometimes my parents are awake for days at a time and still manage to go to work and handle all of their other commitments each day. There has been muscles pulled trying to get him dressed for school in the morning. There's constant headaches. There's having to answer 20 times a day where you got that big scratch on your face and then lying about it and saying you were playing with your dog and she got you by accident. Living with someone with autism takes a toll on you mentally. It's crying in the shower, in bed at night, or even anytime you get a free second and immediately start thinking about what's going to happen to him in the future. It's having to tell the hostess in the 99 lobby that they can cancel our table while everyone is staring at you trying to get Daniel off the floor because the restaurant's too loud, and you're okay with it. It's being completely torn apart by the final decision, after years and years of saying never, to finally send him to stay in a residential home with his classmates, because that's what's best for his progress. I've often heard people who are raising or living with a person with autism ask the question, if you could change the fact that your child or sibling has autism and make it so he was typically developing, would you do it? I've heard many people respond to this by saying, no. Autism is what makes my child or sibling who they are, and I love who they are. While I understand and respect their answers, if someone were to ask this question to me, I would say, in a heartbeat. To me, autism is not cute or funny. The individuals themselves are unquestionably wonderful. I love my brother and I love each and every child in the kindergarten through 2nd grade classroom that I teach, but people like Daniel or any of the children in my class are not defined by their autism. I love my brother more than life itself. Daniel has an incredible kindness to him, like when Emily comes home for the weekend and he kisses her on the cheek to say hi. He has a sense of humor and a laugh that could light up an entire room. He has such a warm soul that when you look into his eyes, it makes the worst of days just a little bit better. And I can only imagine how much more intensified these qualities would be if he didn't have autism. However, the fact is that he does. So as the saying goes, when life gives you lemons, you make lemonade. My family took all this emotional, physical, and mental distress and we grew from it. We learned the value of unconditional love. We learned that people are different but not less, and that everyone has the right to live a happy life. We learned that being able to show kindness, love, and compassion are way more important than materialistic things or looking cool in front of the people in your class. We learned that it's okay to take a step outside of what is considered normal and enter Daniel's world for a little while. even if that means dancing alongside Emily to the Shrek in the Swamp karaoke dance party 100 times in a row because Daniel thought it was hilarious and all we wanted to do was see him smile. We learned that all we need is family and what can otherwise be a lonely, cold world. And now we're learning that as time goes on and more people are knowledgeable about autism and the characteristics that come along with it, people are more accepting of the fact that everyone is unique. Instead of people giving dirty looks to someone who might be scripting all of the words of the Charlie Brown Christmas special, they're saying, "Hey, I've seen that movie." And they might ask them, "What was your favorite part?" Instead of making fun of someone for flapping their hands a little because they're excited, they start looking for even more ways they could put a smile on that person's face. So as I stand here, I'm asking the next generation of children, as well as everyone else in the room here today, to simply think about their actions, try to help each other out instead of tearing people down. Sometimes all anyone needs in life is a friend. Thanks.